You are probably wasting so much more money than you realize on your baby registry. I'm gonna walk you through one right now, and we're gonna tally up how much money I think this person is wasting. Now, obviously it's not all their money, it's their friends and family members, but let's keep in mind this number, in my opinion, is wasted on items that are non-essential. It could be spent on diapers and wipes. It could be spent on formula, okay? So let's jump right into it. Okay, item number one is this large pack and play situation. It's a play area. Typically, I would say a waste, but I'm gonna say, well, maybe they have pets or they have stairs and this is a safe place. So we'll let that one slide. Next, we got an activity center and another activity center. I'm gonna call out the first one. I don't like that one as much. So we'll just say $40 wasted. I'm not gonna say $39.99. We're gonna round to whole numbers just because it's easier to process and to keep track of. So let's just say $40 wasted on that one. We would keep the second one. And then this third one, I would also say is a waste. There's no money amount listed, so we'll just move along. Next, we got socks that have like the grippy on the bottom. Love those. 2 hats. Hats are a good thing. Pants, great, no problem. Next, we got like a fleece suit. If you're having a winter baby, not a waste. We loved ours. Pants, onesies. I don't love the Winnie the Pooh ones, but you do you. Mittens, I'm gonna call those a $14 waste. Get a couple sleepers that have a cuffed sleeve or just put the socks on their hands, okay? Next, we have another package of socks. Now these ones are 0 to 6 months. I'm a little more on the fence. I don't love socks for newborns. Personally, I would rather them be in a sleeper that has footies on it, but sometimes you do need a little bit of socks. Then we got more bodysuits, great, cool, whatever. You can buy clothing secondhand, but it's also not a complete waste. Bath toys, I am gonna call a waste though. Give them just a couple of random toys from your house that can go in the water, okay? Like cups, spoons, they'll be fine. So I'm just gonna make up $5 for that one because the price is not listed. Then we have hooded towels, $30. I would actually call this a waste. They can just use an adult towel, okay? They don't really have to have a kid towel. And if you really did want to get it, I would get not a baby towel, but a toddler towel or even a child's towel for when they're like 10. That way that they don't outgrow it. Baby towels get outgrown so fast. Aveeno, cool. I would switch out the Johnsons for something that's maybe better quality. So we're gonna let that one go because it would probably be flipped. Then we have a like set of towels and washcloths. I'm gonna call that one a waste. So we're gonna say, we'll round down on this one, $24 wasted. The burp cloths that are white here, I like those. So those are gonna be a keep in my opinion. Desitin, fine. Changing pad covers, $17 wasted in my opinion, because I would say the changing pad is a waste of $35. That is next. For me, those are skips. We changed our babies on a quilt. The quilt could sit on the couch, on the floor, or as we did, on a guest bed in their room. Don't get this extra thing that is short-lived. Diapers, of course, great. Oh, this one was also a cover. This here is actually the changing pad. So another $30 wasted in my opinion. Wipes are an essential. Okay, now when it comes to bibs here, I don't love the cloth ones if you can not do them, but I get it. For bottles, breastfeeding, people usually use a cloth bib and then they move on to the silicone for food. I just didn't find the bibs all that helpful. A lot of times when they spit up off the bib anyway. So I kind of felt like their outfit was ruined and a bib was ruined and a burp rag. So I just kind of used a burp rag and didn't use bibs very often. Silicone bibs, love these for toddlers and babies that are on food. Then we got formula. If they're not planning to breastfeed, get as much of that as you can. Bottles, obviously if you're going bottle route, that's not a wasted item. Now, burp cloths like this, I would skip. And my reason for this, they already had those other ones that were more of like a square or a rectangle shape. These, I call them more like a peanut shape. I don't like multiple styles. Some people might be like, well, I like multiple styles because I don't know what I'm gonna want. For me, when the laundry comes through the dryer, you got to fold it and you got to make stacks and you got to put it in the diaper bag. And I like uniform and I like simplicity. So I'm gonna call this a $20 waste. Then we have the bottle drying rack, which I'm gonna call a $23 waste. You can just dry them on a towel. Crazy, I know. Next, pacifiers. If you want passies, that's great. We were passies. So not gonna call that one out. The humidifier, we never needed one unless you live in like Arizona or something. I don't see the need. So $34 wasted. Thermometer, no problem with that. I like a baby monitor, so I'm not gonna hate on that one. I always recommend getting one that has a split screen and get 2 cameras. That way that when you have your second child, you're already set to go. Now I am gonna call this baby comb hairbrush set a waste, $18. We had one Very similar, if not the same, and honestly, it's really short-lived. I would rather just go get a little plastic comb. You can part their hair better. That one's not good for parting. Those brushes are not the best. I would just get them a more grown-up set, honestly. Then we've got some Aveeno. It's really up to you what you put on baby skin, so I'm gonna let that one go. Baby Frida, I'm just gonna say $10 wasted here because I don't like Frida products. Nasal aspirator, you're gonna get one at the hospital probably, and even if you don't get one, I don't feel like it was something we really used. So I'm gonna say $8 wasted there. More pacifiers. Now, I feel like $18 for 4 is not the best price, okay? So I would try to find cheaper ones because it's something you replace and you lose and, you know, they get germy and you need to replace them. Go affordable because what your baby gets used to, they get used to. Also, these might be a different brand or type, and it's up to you if you want to introduce different types or if you just want to go with one from the get-go. Another thermometer, not going to hate on thermometers. You want to know when your baby's sick. Okay, so blanket or swaddles, blanket. I would not register for this many blankets. I would get rid of this 4-pack because it's 4 that are the same. They serve the same purpose. I'd rather have a big blanket and a small blanket. And I know that contradicts my statement on burp cloths. I like them to be uniform, but blankets can be used for different things. One is a floor blanket. One is a blanket when they're old enough in the crib. I used this one blanket that was so tiny in the car seat, and I would just tuck it around their legs in the wintertime. I would skip on that 4-pack of blankets. We're just gonna call that $10. Okay, we got some plushy crib sheets. 4-pack, 4 is all that you need. And let's see, I think that's for a full-size crib. Then we have another package here, which again is another 4-pack. If those are both for the full-size crib, unless it's like a bassinet or something, I actually say 3 sheets, so a 4-pack is fine. I would get gender neutral because it's something you can use for your next baby. So we're gonna call that, we'll call it up here, we'll call it the $24 wasted. All right, a white noise or sound machine that is portable. We used an old cell phone and put a free app on it. So we used free as an option, but I will allow it. Cotton sleep sack. We did use sleep sacks. If you can get them secondhand, that's great because they can get very expensive very fast. All right, I'm gonna call this a $140 waste. I don't like a changing table. All right, it serves one purpose. I would recommend getting a diaper caddy instead. And like I said, putting a quilt down on a guest bed in their room, on the floor, on a couch. All right, that's just my honest opinion and how we did it, and you just don't need this random piece of furniture. Okay, next on nursing, which I find a little bit interesting because they did have formula on here, but maybe they just want one can as like a backup. Not sure. I would only get one nursing pillow if you're gonna get one, and honestly, I may do without one. So we're just gonna go ahead and say $30 wasted because one of those is a waste in this scenario. All right, next we're getting into kind of toys and car seats. So the car seat spiral toy, way overpriced. I'm gonna say that's a $23 waste. Find something way more affordable. Then we've got the little soft books. Cool, fine. Those could clip on to the car seat, okay? Or give it to baby in the car seat. Then we have a car seat base. Now, that's an expensive car seat base. It's because it's up a baby. So I'm not gonna say this is a waste because you need it, but I would have gone with a more affordable option. Then we have the rear facing mirror for seeing baby in the car. We had one, I enjoyed it. Not gonna call that a waste. Then it looks like the rain cover. I'm gonna call that a $13 waste because probably after the first month, you're not gonna have it with you when it actually rains. You're not gonna remember to get it out. You're just gonna throw a blanket across them, or you're just gonna not be caught in the rain. So unless you live in a city where you are frequently commuting like via stroller, like walking, using public transportation, then maybe yes, but if you're just in the suburbs and, you're not gonna take a walk when it's gonna rain, okay? Moving along into more toys and books. This set I feel like is okay. They could use it as an infant, but they can also stack these as they get older and like play with them. So we'll leave it. Books, I like books. I think books are great for kids. Library has free books though, so keep that in mind. Now we got some teether toys. I'm gonna call this one a $14 waste. They could teethe on these rings right here. They don't need this set. All right, so we're gonna call that one a $14 waste. This one, I'm not gonna click into anything because it's just annoying. So we'll just skip that one. And then I would skip these. I don't see your baby actually holding onto it the right way. We're gonna call that a $12 waste. All right, the black and white tummy time mirror interactive, we'll call that one fine, okay? We can keep some toys, all right? Now, if you can find newborn toys, I wanna say secondhand or used, but that might make you uncomfortable. What about your sister-in-law, okay? A good friend, and they've, left the baby phase. If it's secondhand from somebody maybe you would be comfortable with it, all right? Newborn toys are very short-lived. All right, the hatch rest, we love this thing. I can't call it a waste. We absolutely love it. wipes, and then we got a wrap carrier. I enjoyed my wrap carrier. Now we got a baby-led weaning style of like utensils. Okay, you don't need the baby-led weaning one. You can do it with anything. Okay, you don't have to have these Montessori specific products. You can do the philosophy without 100% having the right gear or what they consider the right gear. My problem with this set is you already registered for 3 bibs. This one comes with a bib. Okay, so those 3 bibs we should remove. You have a random set of like fork and spoon that's not going to match any other fork and spoon. I don't like it when things don't match. I like all the matching plates, all the matching silverware, matching bowls. Cups, we didn't always match. But if I was going to get this like green set, I would get like 3 of them. But then you're repeating the bibs. So for me, it's a no-go. Then we got the 3-tier cart. This could be for breastfeeding, could be for postpartum. For me, it is a skip. Just do a simple basket that you maybe already have in your home or even an Amazon box, okay? Put an Amazon box behind your toilet with postpartum stuff or something of that nature. And once you start breastfeeding, you do realize you don't need that many supplies with you all the time. So we're gonna call that one a $26 waste. And I think on this one, we'll call that one a $10 waste. Then we have disposable changing pads. So I'm calling this $25 waste right out the gate. And that is because you bought a changing table, a changing like pad thingy, and then you bought covers. And then you're gonna put these plastic thingies over it. First of all, waste. Second of all, totally ruins the cuteness unless you're like putting this out before you change baby. For me, it's a no-go. Okay, it's a no-go. Vicks, I don't know that I would need Vicks. I'm not a big Vicks user, but okay. First aid kit, I'd be curious what's in there to decide if it is useful or not. But if that is something that makes you feel good, go for it. Not gonna hate on safety. Mobile on the crib, absolutely gonna hate on that. So that is $38 wasted. They are a safety hazard, unnecessary. Your baby is supposed to sleep in the crib, not be entertained. Baby gate, if you have stairs, absolutely, or you wanna separate them. Now we have another dish set. My problem, another bib, silverware, they're different. This is not 100% matching that other set. At least it doesn't look that way to me. So that's annoying. These plates aren't gonna stack in your cabinet. Your cabinet's gonna be chaos. Don't do this to yourself. Okay, we're gonna call that one, holy moly, 36? I called that other one a $10 waste. $36 waste is what I'm calling this one. I definitely underpriced that other one. All right, here we have a bottle cleaning set. I am not gonna completely call it a waste, but I would only get like the basic. I wanna get a big set. Then we have, dish soap for washing pump parts and bottles. Just use regular Dawn, $15 waste. Laundry detergent, I think whatever you're using for you, you should use for baby, and it should be safe enough for you and for your baby. They are gonna lay on you all the time. So don't get specific laundry detergent for them. We'll call that a $10 waste. Pacifier clip, okay, that's fine. Okay, receiving blankets, I actually like receiving blankets as burp cloth. So for me, it's a win for burp cloth usage. Now, you had those white ones earlier, so I would probably skip on the white ones and just do this version. $35 wasted on a wipe warmer. I don't think I need to even discuss it. All right, and with that, we are done. So what did we come down to? This is our grand total of money that I consider wasted on this baby registry. That money could have been spent on more clothing, on diapers, on wipes, on maybe a stroller. Did we actually see the car seat or stroller? I don't think we did. It should have been UPA to match that car seat base. I don't believe we saw a crib or a bassinet. We did not see a bouncer or a swing, which I'm not a big fan of those, but they're missing some essentials. We didn't see a diaper bag. We're missing some stuff, okay? So get rid of some of the fluff, focus on the necessities. If you are concerned that you're putting just as much waste on your baby registry, let me know, comment, tell me more, or check for a link down in the description. I want to tell you about my baby registry services. I will do this to your baby registry. We will do a questionnaire. I learn about you and what you need to suit your life. I will go through your baby registry item by item, and I'm going to say yes, no, and why I think this item is good or bad for your lifestyle. Okay, so less than what this person wasted is what my services cost. Okay, it is worth the savings on your baby registry. It will speed up the process of finalizing your baby registry so you finally can get that to-do list item off your chest and out of your mind and move on to preparing for labor, delivery, and welcoming your baby. All right, so hit me up in the description or in the comments. Again, comment, tell me more, and I will get back with you and we can talk about if your baby registry needs a review. In the meantime, check out other videos on my channel. I hope to see you there. And until then, have a great day.